first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Play clock at 5. We're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Here's Wilson to throw. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Check. Lucky. Check 13.
They'll run with a former Viking, Cordero Patterson. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Ready, 50, clear. Here we go. Mike 9.
To throw is Wilson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. back now off the read option. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. This defense for the Jets, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to float this over the middle deep, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt, and this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off.
And he fires one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 41. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. Flush to his right. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
He'll look to throw. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
That's complete. Okuegbuna. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days? That they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football. Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers, and they are a full part of the passing game, and we see a lot of big plays as we just saw there.
They'll run with Cook, and he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll run for it with Cook, and this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Now, this is a crew. They've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. Get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing is Wilson. He finds his man complete. It's Wilson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Wilson. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Wilson will throw again. Got a man. It's Patterson complete. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll make it a 2nd down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep and you catch him close to the spot. Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man.
I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we're usually talking about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took him to the limits.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down. A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's Patterson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. The kick by Maher is good. And they're on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, heal up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year?
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to throw. Cook with a first down and much more. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
Yeah, big play there. And when you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Cook following the penalty. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And the Jets are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
On first down, Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
70 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. Look at a nice little drive brewing right here.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Madison. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Left side, Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Vikings will extend their lead here just before halftime.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From way up at the 23. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
From the 6. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27.
A give. This is Cook. Cook, a 1st down and more. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Back to the ground. This time, Cook. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on third down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis.
And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
And this one's incomplete.
I think we could all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger point. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Fourth down, here's Wilson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on fourth down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the first down. It's now 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Eluding the press. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Zach Wilson with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Jets capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Now whistles and a timeout signaled here by the offense. And that's their first of this second half. Brett Maher on for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From the 6. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Hall, and he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Three yards remain for 2nd down. Here's Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Hall, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
3rd and goal from the 6. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
So with a 4th and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. The kick by Marr is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, A lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Here's 2nd and 10. He'll get that complete to Albert O. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Being chased out left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Buda Baker with a pick.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game, and so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
They'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
That's a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Running for it. Here's Cook. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Dalvin Cook turned away on 4th down. And the Jets are going to get the football back. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. A real opportunity for them. Their defense got the key 4th down stop. Now all they need is a field goal to snag the lead. On 1st down, it's Hall. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock, in a tight 1-point game. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll run on 1st down. It's Patterson, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
On 1st down, Patterson. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. They get the USC man, Elijah Vera Tucker. A shotgun handoff to Patterson. Finding room to the 20. And down to the 7-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could go back out your long way.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that'll make this a 6-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Lets it fly for Thielen. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 40. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. And now this one may draw a penalty. He just blindly threw that one to the sideline. And yep, indeed, the flag is out. They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Here's Patterson. Finds a seam inside the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Jets, they moved to 7-1 on the year with the victory. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, alongside